I want to thank the senator from Washington for her remarks. They were spot on. I had the opportunity to see part of Senator Kyle's comments on TV, and I just have a few responses to them, and then I want to talk about the project. First of all, Senator Kyle said that the OC program was a target of the administration. His amendment is not take away the program and zero it out, which is what, if that's his concern, it should have done. What it does is it takes away this specific project. The second point was about security. And the fact is the EOC program is to respond not just to terrorist activities, which I will get into in a minute, but to all hazards as they apply, natural and man-made. And finally, fiscal responsibility was his third point. He said, we can't afford this earmark. This amendment doesn't save one red cent. It moves it back to FEMA. Mr. President, I spoke earlier today on the floor about this Emergency Operations Center in Whitefish, Montana. I'm going to reiterate some of those points. It's the northwest part of the state, about 60 miles south of the Canadian border. If you talk to the people who deal with this nation's security, they will tell you that the main threat on the northern border is terrorism. Immigration is the main threat on the southern border. This EOC facility will be located 60 miles south of the border, just west of Glacier National Park, which sits beside the Blackfeet Indian Reservation. To the north, to the west, to the south of Whitefish is literally millions of acres of forested ground. So whether it's the potential, and I mean potential, that something may happen on the Canadian border that's bad, this center is there. Whether it's the potential of forest fires on Forest Service ground or in the park, this Emergency Operations Center is there. It also houses police, fire, interoperability for radios. It is very much needed. Now here's the other part about it. Their current facility is in the basement. It's about a third of the size they need. It's built on a fault plain. It's built in a floodplain. The fact is that if you want to talk about need for Emergency Operations Center in this country, there is no doubt the need is here. I want to talk about one other thing, and keep in mind what I said earlier. The EOC program is just not for man-made disasters, it's for all disasters. We all know what beetle kill and disease and global warming has done to our forests, and the Northwest is no exception of Montana. The other point I want to make is this. This picks on one specific area in one specific state. This picks on an area that I happen to know very, very well, and I've been up there several times, was just there last weekend of the many weekends that I go home, which is every weekend. And I was up there in Whitefish, Montana. And the fact is this area is a good project for this area. I'm an elected official from this state. I've seen it with my own two eyes. I know what's necessary. We're going to take this away and give this money back to FEMA so we can have an appointed bureaucrat who probably maybe been in the state of Montana, maybe not. Chances they've been in Whitefish, doubtful. The truth is that this is a good project, and I'm all for fighting waste, and I'm all for fighting pork, and the fact that we're having this debate speaks to the fact that we've moved a long ways in this body as far as earmarks in the middle of night, plugged in and not having the opportunity to debate on it. I will tell you this. This is a good project. It's a project that spends our taxpayer dollars wisely, and it will benefit the entire country when it's done. And it's a project that's very much needed. There's no pork in this. This is about our country's security. It's unfortunate that I didn't have the opportunity to visit with the good senator from Arizona while he was on the floor, because quite frankly, it may have changed his opinion, maybe not. I don't know why he singled this project out for his amendment. Like I said before, he brought up the point that the administration took the EOC program and it was a targeted administration. Well, put an amendment up to zero it out. That's not what this amendment does. He talked about fiscal responsibility. This doesn't save a penny. And the fact, if we're talking about security, it's just not man-made terrorism, it's emergency hazards caused by Mother Nature. This project, this facility will help combat and address all of those issues. Mr. President, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to this issue. I think this is an unfortunate amendment, but we'll vote on it and see what happens. Once again, I'd like to thank the Senator for Washington for her leadership and support on this issue.